Hello and welcome to this brand new and a very exciting episode of Newsmakers. This show is special because today we are celebrating International Women's Day. Newsmakers is the show where we get on board such trailblazer personalities who have worked diligently in their field, and they come here and share their success stories because at Newsmakers we really aspire to inspire you. My dear lovely audience, I'm your host Simran, and since we are celebrating Women's Day, I am so honored and elated to bring to you two dynamic leaders of their industry on our platform today at Newsmakers. We have our first panelist, Mrs. Sonica Aron. She's the founder and managing partner of Marching Sheep. We have Rashmi Yadav K, who's the executive director, Genius Consultant Limited. A very, very warm welcome to both of you on this platform of Newsmakers.
Thank you so much, Simran.
Thank you, Simran.
It's a pleasure to have such dynamic ladies here with us today. I would like to begin with you, Sonica ji. My first question goes, you've been a leader. You've been into this industry. I would like to start with your leadership journey. How has it been? How have you been as a person, as a woman in this world which is so male dominated? How have you overcome these challenges? And have you reached to this level where you are just leading your, organization?
That's a very interesting question. I have always believed that leadership is not a gendered construct. It's a neutral construct. So if I look back, I think I have always been myself. I have never, tried to behave like a man or espouse any of, as we would call, the masculine leadership traits. And I have found that just being myself has helped me a lot. Also, as I have gone through, see, all of us start our careers as freshers, and then we learn from our seniors, we learn from our managers, we learn from different people around us. And I was lucky that I learned from some great leaders on how to lead and groom people who work with them. And also, I learned from some leaders what not to do, right? So, when I started Marching Sheep, one thing was very clear that, anybody who works with me has to be happy doing what they're doing. Otherwise, there's no point. And I think when we keep that at the center of our journey, we are able to pull together the kind of practices which not only drive results, but also drive a culture where people are valued and they can be their authentic selves, just like I have always been myself throughout. Right. So, for example, if in my early years I was an introvert, I am an introvert still. But, for example, in the industry, being an introvert at times is almost seen as a weakness, right? This person does not speak in the team or does not contribute in the team. So this person must not be very capable or competent. Or if you have to make your presence felt, you need to go all out and network. So these are some attributes which, organizations or corporates or leadership sometimes expects of people, who they want to groom into leadership roles. But I was not that kind of a person. I was a different person. And yet I was able to showcase my contribution. I was able to showcase the difference I was making in an organization. And that was because I had my managers and leaders sponsoring me and backing me. And that is what I have learned as a leader myself, that each one of my team members is going to be different. I cannot push them to be a different version of themselves. So if somebody is an introvert, I have to create an environment and opportunities where that person can shine. If someone does not want to be a facilitator, but wants to be, let's say, more of a content person or more into creating adaptive learning techniques, then, that those are the opportunities that this person will thrive on. And that is where I think magic happens. So for me, really, if I look at leadership, I would say that along a continuum of masculine traits and feminine traits, it's not just that only women can demonstrate feminine traits. The feminine traits of collaboration, empathy, emotional intelligence, vulnerability, taking people along. I have seen a lot of male leaders also demonstrate these. And the masculine traits, which are all about assertiveness, doing, control, and individualism. I have seen a lot of female leaders also demonstrating these because they've come under pressure to behave like a man, right? So I think it's a continuum, and we need to learn to embrace who we are.
So when you just now said that even a woman is supposed to be commanding, so somewhere we see like
No, I'm not saying supposed to be commanding. I'm saying the expectation, because there is a stereotypical expectation of a leader,
yes, yes,
right? And
yes,
sometimes women succumb to it.
yes.
Hmm.
Because this being a leader, you really have to be commanding, or maybe people have to adhere to you, or maybe they have to look up to you because you're leading a huge organization or a huge team. So I totally agree to what you say. I would like to now speak with Rashmi.
Yeah.
You've been into the industry from past 15 years and more than that, and you're carrying the legacy of your father. You
Yes.
are an executive director of Genius Consultant. Now reaching to this level, how has it been for you? Like, you always looked up to your father? What, like, you always dreamt of being here? Please tell us about your journey till now.
Yes, I'll tell you. Thank you so much, Simran. First of all, inviting and making me a part of this, and showcasing my organization. So I would say that I started my career way back, in 2007. 17 years back. And it is my father's belief, and in Genius we believe that anything, if you give it in a platter, it's
Mhm.
not valued. It's never valued. So you have to work through the ladder, and you have to from the grassroots level you need to start. So I joined, I had seen this company grow and take its shape, or even born in front of us, while we were kids, while I was maybe even that time I didn't had the knowledge, 5 years old. That time I saw this company taking emerging, and being born, this idea of Genius Consultants being born, so in the house itself. So for us, Genius was like a part of our family, a third
Amazing.
third sibling, a third sibling. I have my younger sister also, so this was like a
Wow.
third sibling. Seeing your father giving the same amount of time that was supposed to be given to you is also being given there, nourishing, and everything happened in front of me. So I started from the executive level in HR, and I grew up there. So for me, it has never been I have never looked down upon any role or any work in the organization. If you talk to me, that any work, that time, I had to learn everything, because everything is not given. You don't come, you are not made for a role. You have to learn. So
Correct.
so I have done that. So there is no qualms about it, and I'm never ashamed. So let's say, if you talk about, that whether, if you have to manage a paper or doing this, I have done everything. So I'm glad I could do that. And carrying my father's legacy, yes, that is a dream of every child, to fulfill the dream of their parent, and that is one of my dream too. So
Wow.
in doing this, if I'm able to achieve even 1% of what he has dreamt, I will be a winner in that.
Wonderful. This is such a great thing to hear, that you've seen through, you've started, it's in the blood. Literally coming
Yes,
to this level, you started from scratch, from the tender years when probably you were 5 years. And I'm so happy that as a daughter, you're living your father's dream and you're reaching to this level. And there is so
absolutely.
much to achieve. And then I really wish that you go more bigger levels, higher levels, and you achieve everything in your life. There is a
Thank you.
lot that you and as because we are here on Women's Day, this is because we all are
Yes.
just going to be talking about how women is doing so well in the industry. And there are times women are not even aware that they are so empowered. You need to just keep instilling in each other, look, you are, you have to believe in yourself. Now we know Sonika ji is a dynamic personality. Like, I've been just perpetual about it. You are such a great leader. You're leading a team of n number of people in your organization. Now, when I come here to this a very important question, now when a woman is on a maternity leave, what are the HR policies these days? It's very, very important because women has to move out of the home, this comfort level they have to work. And when a child is born, it is very difficult for mother to balance both the profession. Inside her she has that guilt, oh, I have left my child. Now how does HR help? How does an organization help her get out of this guilt?
Okay. So first of all, Simran, thank you for all the praise and the honor.
I mean it.
uh, but it's my job, so thank you, but thank you. So now, see, it's there is no straightforward answer to this. Okay, so if I were to break this up a little bit, and I would also like Rashmi to add her,
Yes.
because it is a very it's a very uh, it's it, it's
It's
an
very sensitive.
yes,
This
it's an
question is
issue
very sensitive. Yeah.
which affects just about every woman who
Yeah.
decides to have a child, right?
Yes.
So, see, when I started my career almost 20 years back, nobody was even talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? It was not even a part of an HR strategy. Forget about it being a part of a business strategy. It was much later. It was 2007, 2008 that, there was a lot of research which started coming out, and organizations started getting top-down mandates that hire women. Right?
Okay.
And at that time, maternity leave used to be just 12 weeks in India, right? Now, typically, a child nurses for at least 6 to 8 months,
That's
right? Now, what tended to happen at that time, rightly or wrongly, that a lot of women would proceed on maternity leave and they would not inform their organization of their plans. They would be all, as if they would come back after maternity leave, and many of them would not. And the organization would just get to know a day or a week before the maternity leave was supposed to end, which left the manager or the organization in a very tough situation. They had lost 3 months wherein they could have hired a replacement, etc. Now, here it was not that the woman was also at fault, because woman was also scared that if she revealed in advance that she would not be coming back, would the organization pay her for the 3 months of maternity leave? So it was all a very murky situation. So normally women tended to keep quiet. They would get paid for the 3 months of maternity leave, and then they would choose not to come back, and so on and so forth. Now, that perception that once a girl gets married or once a girl has a child, her priority will change. And therefore, she might or might not come back to work. She might or might not be as committed to work. She might or might not want to travel or take on challenging assignments, seems to have stuck, right? It's not easy for people to forget bad experiences, right? What has happened in the past.
true.
So now for us to break that becomes difficult. So when we say that now women are so empowered and women are breaking, I would really, while yes, we have moved the needle a little bit, I would really ask everyone to just sit back and ask yourselves that if we've really made so much of difference, where are all those women that we were hiring from 2007, 2008 onwards? Then they should all have been in leadership positions. We should have had more women CMOs. We should have had more women CTOs. We should have had more women CIOs, more women CEOs, or more women sales heads. But we don't see them. right? That is because while the pressure was to hire and say that move the gender or the female representation from 5% to 10% to 15%, the entire ecosystem or the policy or the mindset was not getting addressed.
Mhm.
And an organization is a subunit of the society. Now, if the societal level, and India is a very diverse country, right? When we speak, some of us might have the privilege of growing up in a family where there has been no pressure from parents to take up a particular career because it will be easier for you to get married. You will not earn more than the groom, so it will be easier to find a groom, right? You will have a desk job, so your complexion will not go bad, right? So some of us might have had that privilege, but there are still people who do not have that privilege. So if we forget about metros and mini metros, and even in metros and mini metros, there are people. In fact, I recall almost just before COVID, I had done a session with a very well-known big, I don't want to name the consulting firm, but the consulting firm hired the creme de la creme from institutes. And I was doing a session for the women with 3 years or 4 years of experience. And those women were not willing to speak about their career aspirations in a common group. But each one of them came and spoke to me that, Sonica, there is pressure on me from my family to lose weight,
Mm.
to become fairer, to not do field visits because I should not go out in the sun, to to settle down, to get married. Do not take a posting outside of India because they are looking for a groom for me. Now, when you are asking me what are your career aspirations, what do we tell you, right?
Yes.
So coming back to your issue, your question that maternity, I would say it's not just maternity. I think the sticky floor, as we call it, happens at different life stages of a woman. Even if the age is when it is considered quote unquote the right marriageable age,
Mhm.
between say 25 and 30, right? That can be a challenge if somebody is look. I have often heard of women say, I will not look for a job change right now because it will anyways happen after I get married. Now the question is, why would only a woman look for a job change after getting married? Why cannot her partner look for a job change? But that is a social conditioning that gets seeped in,
Mhm.
right? That is one. Then the other is, of course, maternity. Then as the children grow, sometimes today people are choosing to have one child, two children, and then those class 10th and 12th exams, which are like super critical in our Indian education system. God knows why today nobody asks me my 10th uh, class 10th marks or 12th marks. Rashmi, had anybody asked you?
Never, never.
But it is
It
so
is
high.
very important.
Yeah. My
Yes.
son is going through class 10th, and trust me, every day waking up at 5:30 and helping him. And my daughter is in class 6. Exam March, I tell you, is the worst month of the
Yes. Yes. It
year.
is. It
So,
is.
so class 10th and 12th, and then aging parents. Why the assumption that aging parents, whether it is the woman's parents or in-laws, are only the woman's responsibility? Right? So
Mhm.
I think a lot of these life stages today, and for no fault of the woman or no fault of the organization,
Mhm.
that is how our societal construct has been.
Right.
And as women, we have to take charge of breaking this cycle,
Correct.
right? And we have to make our partners allies in this.
Exactly.
Like I keep telling my husband that you are my partner in crime. And when I go and I, do a session, I very proudly tell them that, listen, I travel 20 to 21 days in a month. I have two children, one dog, two cats, and only one husband, right? And, it's fine. And I really doesn't bother me if anybody judges me that, array 10th class, 10th mein hai, and, she is not at home. And she has a class 6th mein, she has a child and she's not at home. I say, I don't bother, but then I have an ally in my husband, right? I have an ally in my mother-in-law. I have an ally in my team. But I had to make this choice of breaking the cycle and
Correct.
not succumb,
Exactly.
right? And the same thing, I think, in organizations, sorry for the long answer, that in organizations as well, there is an option that you continue to do what is happening, or you start to question status quo. Why is it that when we come back from maternity leave, that we are given simpler roles? I want to travel. I want to continue being in sales. I want to have a challenging assignment. Not every woman takes or, wants to continue being mollycoddled. Don't take away that choice from them by assuming,
Exactly.
right? So I think here there are two things. One, it is not an HR responsibility. Here, every manager needs to be sensitized. Think about an organization which has 50,000 people, 10,000 people, 1 lakh people. HR cannot look at every case individually. So every manager needs to be sensitized. Guidelines need to be in place on what are the options available when a person comes back from maternity or paternity leave, or let's say parental leave for that matter, right? Even a man might want to, spend time with the child. What if a man is a single parent?
Correct.
Hai na? So I think we need to change the way we are looking at things. The entire lens has to change.
So I think this is the need of the hour, where we all need to change the perception. Every time we think that, if of course, if she's coming back from a maternity leave, and here my women friends who are watching us, who are going to watch this show maybe later or now, I would just want to tell you all that this is very important, that you have to have this self realization that you can do anything. Even if you've given a birth to a small child, you can revamp, you can be back in some time, and then you can start your career. You do not have to compromise on your profession. I would like to understand from Rashmi, what is your take on this, because I know that you also had something to give on this topic.
Yes, definitely, Simran. See, I also started my career, 17 years back, and I'm married. I'm having two kids. It's the same, one of the kids is in class 8, and the one kid is in class 1. So there is definitely an age gap. So during that time, I would say, when I had married and I had kids, there was this concept of women empowerment, inclusivity, diversity, let's say, or caregivers, caretakers, care homes, these concepts are not there. So you also wanted to work, as a career. If you have had a good education, you have the qualification, you would like to work, you would like to take the next step. So we all have done, I have also done that. But in that, like like Sonica said, you need to have a support system in your house as well as in your office, because without that support system, for a woman, it is not possible, to have it all. I would say, you cannot have it all. There are adjustments and compromises. I would say there are no sacrifices, but there are adjustment and compromises. And many a times these compromises and adjustments are asked from the women. And in fact, women only adjust and compromise more. Even if it is not asked from them, they are coming forward and they will compromise and adjust more.
Yes.
So I would say, and who can be all these, your support system, like, rightly pointed out by Sonica, that it will be your parents, your parent-in-laws, your husband, definitely he is your partner in crime, your kids also, because for those times when you are not there, the kid needs to understand that yes, they will not find their mother, the
Yes.
mother will not be there. So
Yes.
they have to go to the caretaker who is there, or your helpers, caregivers, and of course finally your colleagues with whom you are working and interacting every day. They also need to understand that she is a mother. That colleague is also a mother, because unfortunately in Indian context, woman plays many roles, whether mother, daughter, wife, wife, then the
The
daughter-in-law. So there,
multitasker.
yeah,
Yes.
multifaceted role, I would say, and
Exactly.
all these roles are very demanding. They are so demanding that sometimes you forget that what is your demand. Also, you forget your demand
Exactly.
sometimes.
Exactly. We
So
tend to absolutely forget us.
so
Literally.
yes, so that is a reason why, Simran, this is very important. And secondly, it is very important that your partner has to be your close, but he has to work in tandem with you. He cannot be someone, or who will not, who cannot understand or cannot support, because after all, the family and the kids, it is both are raising, both are raising together. So your partner must know about your priority, your schedule, when you will not be present or when you will be present. So that is how I have done. I would say, these are the many facets how I have tried to manage, and till such time I have been successful. Pata nahi आगे क्या होगा, like she said. So this is how. And coming to your organization, where we are also an HR organization, and many women, we provide them maternity leave, they come back from the maternity leave. So that time we give them the chance again to start over again from where they left, or maybe you give them the chance, let them get settled down, understand, because it is very difficult for a mother, or a lactating mother, to come again, and again start over, as she was performing, in aggressively, that is simply not possible. So there are customized schedules that we make for such kind of mothers who require that. So this is how we are following, and we have a very good, we have a very family kind of an environment in our organization. That is what we have made, so that we treat this as an extended family, so where everybody understands each other. There are divisions and departments, there is a team where people work. So and that's how the team, then we segregate the task, and the task is shared among all. So this is how we are doing, personally as well, and professionally. Of course, we have a long way to go. Like so Sonika said, the mindset needs to change, the society has to change at large. And basically, this has to start from the home itself. When we say this, it is like from the home, it has to start, because your biological clock and your career clock are never in together. They
Same.
can never meet. They are always anti-working. They are always parallel, tangent to one another. When you grow up in the ladder, that is the time your kids, they go into teenage life, they need you, your husband needs you. When you further grow up into your decision making life, then your parents need you.
Maybe you
So
get-
these two can never meet, but somehow you have to adjust, compromise, and manage. There are heartaches, but I would say there are no sacrifices, but there are heartaches, definitely.
What a wonderful, outcome that I've got for this particular question. So I would like to speak with my audience here. Now that you're meeting two very dynamic leaders, and both of them, they have really made it sure that you have to put your word forward. as a woman, you have to move out. You have to make your family. It starts from family, you know. You have to tell them that, look, I have to work. And of course, you do not have to just sacrifice on things which are very important, but it is important for us to put our word forward. We are of women of today. We need to work and we need to be independent. We are empowered women and we need not need any validation
Yes.
also. And
Yeah.
but you know, still we are at such a time now. This question is not HR. This is my personal question, and I, as a woman, I've from both of you would like to hear. Now, this time is such where everyone has to be like fit, healthy, fine, and you have to look like really in a good shape. Now, this has come as a, you know, challenge for every woman that you have to be in good shape. Now, again, you're managing your home, you're managing your profession, but still you have to look like, you know, a movie star. Now, this is a big thing for every woman. I'm sure all of us, we go through this. And Sonica ji, do you go through this? And if yes, how do you manage this kind of a trauma? Because you can't be looking, you know, perfect size, zero size all the time.
You know, I have never been size zero. I have always been short and plump. I have been mocked and body shamed from the time I was a kid in school. You
Okay.
know, my nickname, I remember the first time it was in class 3 that one of my friends called me Motu. Okay. So I've never ever been size zero and I've never be even aspired to be. So, yes, it used to hurt when, it used to cross over to serious body shaming. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, a lot of it used to come from extended family.
Correct.
They would not even realize it would come in the form of, this doesn't suit you, this doesn't look good on you, why don't you wear this and that. And so, beyond a point, one just stops bothering about it.
Mhm.
So, again, a very funny example. When I became a consultant, somebody said, "Why don't you take image consulting as this thing? Because there is a certain image of how consultants need to look. There is a Xerox copy, right? Keratin straight hair, stiletto heels,
Mhm.
pencil skirt, or something XYZ, wearing westerns, etc. And you should not wear, I think, prints, or there is a lot, there are a lot of do's and
Exactly.
don'ts, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and all of that. And I was like, why can't I be just myself? I want to wear my the kind of jewelry I want to wear. I will have good hair days, I will have bad hair days. I don't want to waste my extra half an hour of sleep because I need to deck up. I don't want to put on makeup. I don't want to know what is BB cream, CC cream, DD cream, and which color suits me, which color does not suit me. I don't have that kind of time. So I just don't follow anything. I wear what I like. I don't put makeup even now. I don't even own makeup. Today, I get makeup tips from my 12-year-old daughter. So that's where we are. And when did I start looking after my health was January 2023, when my blood reports told me I was pre-diabetic.
Oh, okay.
That was when I said, wake up, because your kids are still young. So now you need to do some things to be healthy and fit, not because you need to fit into some jeans or you need to fit into some top, but because you need to be fit, you need to be energetic, you need to take care of your health. You can't become from pre-diabetic to diabetic and then, get all sorts of problems. So today, when I watch my diet, when I don't have sweets, or I make sure that I walk after every meal and I complete my X number of steps, I do 3 times workout in a week. It is not because I want to lose weight. It is just so that my HB1AC report comes okay every 6 months. Yeah. So, so that's it. Now, I don't think simply because I am short and plump, my children don't love me, or my husband doesn't love me, or my clients don't respect me, or if I have a bad hair day, I will not do my session well, or if I'm wearing a sari with flowers on it, people will not listen to me.
I just loved your answer. And this is what I really personally want all the women to understand. Being size zero is not that we look up for. We need to be healthy. And here I would like to ask Rashmi again here the same question. Because as
Yeah.
a woman, we all go through such cover, like, body shaming and a lot of such things that we also go through. Have you ever faced it? Although you look in the best of your health, I mean, all of us look otherwise.
Yes.
But yes, but how have you ever faced such a thing that you should look like this?
See, I would like to put it like this. For a woman, generally, it is very generalized that the looks go along with the woman, in whatever she does. Even if she is not working, looks matter a lot for women. तो
Exactly.
मैं क्या पहन रही हूँ, कैसी दिख रही हूँ, क्या पहनना है, क्या कलर कॉम्बिनेशन होनी चाहिए, this is more important than, and generally she forgets that what is her for her what is important, she forgets. So this is something which all women should come out, right? Like Sonica said, I am also in my early 40s, so for me right now it is more important to feel healthy and look healthier. So there are lot many things that I also do now, maybe, medication, yoga, some exercising, but I never go, or I never feel that what the third person or the second person is, thinking about me or feeling about me. Because, we we are a working woman, we have to come in the office and we have to work for the whole day, you don't know, sometimes, you face with such challenges from your clients or maybe from your own people that you forget how you're looking, because generally you are so pissed off sometimes, and you're so in that mood, aggression or demanding mood, that you forget that even that, did I put lipstick or did I put any makeup or not. So I would say for women, now, see, in today's world, I think, looks are not that which matter a lot, other than, if you are a personality of interest, where looks are the ones, which help you to go ahead in career. It is of course important in those careers, but other than that, women should be more concerned about their health, about their well-being, and about their mental health.
Exactly.
Because the mental health is something which, all the women go about, but that is something which, is sidelined, and the women herself doesn't understand that what is happening. So generally she keeps on hiding behind that makeup that she puts. So I would say the three things which are more important now, other than the look, is the health and the mental health and well-being of the person. So this is where the focus should be, Sonika.
Very, very true. I loved your answer. Yes, Sonika ji, you have
And I just want to tell Rashmi, she does look younger.
Yeah, of course. Yes, I would like to tell you here that when you told me that you have two kids, I was surprised because I really thought that you're still unmarried.
No, please.
So it's
I
so
will take
wonderful.
that as a compliment.
Yes,
Thank you
it
so
is a
much.
compliment. Yes, of course. So it's such a wonderful answer here. We've just got to know here that all that matters is your mental health. Yes, we need to be healthy. Like Sonika just told us, Sonika ji, that you need to know that, of course, yeah, it was an alarming situation for you. Ki ab mere ko diabetes ho gaya, now I have to go back to my routine. No, we would not want to reach to this problematic thing, but yes, we need to be healthy and we need to do everything because we are like हमें हम कहते हैं कहा जाता है कि औरत शक्ति है. She is having, she works diligently throughout the day, right from the morning till the night. She's just running all through. So then
Yes.
your health is important. Take care of your health. Inside health is important. Your mental health is important. And to achieve this, anything to achieve this happiness, I think this goes without saying that we need to be happy every time, because a happy woman can raise happy kids and have a happy family. So here, I also wanted to have lots of other discussions, but yes, we are constrained with time. I may want to have this, not doing this session as a TV session or a show session, but yes, as another session to be chit chatting. But since I have to just end it up here, thank you so much to both of you for coming here on NewsMakers show. This is a special Women's Women's Day special show, and I am so fortunate to be sharing stage with these dynamic ladies. And you have given me such important tips to follow. I'm going to follow them. And thank you so much to both of you once again.
Thank you so much, Simran. It was a very mind and enriching discussion that we had. Got to know Sonica, got to know many things and also came to know about you, Simran.
Thank you.
And both of you, Sonica, you have been a very vibrant, and Simran, you have been an excellent host. So thank you so much for making me a part of this.
Thank you so much to both of my guests here. And here, to all my viewers watching me right now, I would like to say that here I'm signing off, but I promise that I will be back soon with yet another dynamic women who are going to showcase their story on the platforms of Newsmakers. Till then, stay happy and stay blessed. See ya.